Good afternoon or good evening, students. This is Miss Louise coming to you again with a great story. As you see before us on the whiteboard, I have something written down and it says reading strategy. You know, sometimes we need help when we're reading. A lot of reading goes on in the brain, so it can be very complex or very complicated sometimes. So sometimes when we read, we really need to make connections. In other words, we need to think about things that we've experienced or things that we've read before or things that are happening around us, you know? We need to make connections when we read in our brain. And so today I'm going to try to help you to make a connection with the first one that you see. And it says text to self. We usually make these three connections: text to self, text to text, or text to world when we're reading. Today I want you to think about text to self. So it means think about when I read this story, if it's ever happened to you. Anything in the story. How can you relate to the story? How can you connect to the story? So that's what we're focusing on today. So let me show you the title of the book. The title of our book today is Nice Try, Tooth Fairy, by Mary W. Olson and illustrated by Catherine Tillotson. Okay? And we always look at the cover. So let's look at the cover. It says, Nice try, Tooth Fairy. And of course, we all, at one time in our life, and even as we got older, we've lost some teeth. And we know how the Tooth Fairy comes and helps us out, takes the tooth, and leaves us a little something under the pillow. So on the cover, you see a little girl, some stuffed animals, and a cat, and you see some pillows. So I'm pretty sure that the setting is taking place, at least on this cover, in the bedroom. So let's get started to see what the story is about. Remember, I want you to connect with what's happening in the story and what has happened to you. Here we go. Nice try, Tooth Fairy. And let's look at this picture. She's looking in the mirror and she's looking at her teeth. I guess she lost a tooth. Here we go. Now, she's taking that tooth and she's putting it in a box. And where do you think she's going to put it? Yes, probably under the pillow. Nice try, Tooth Fairy. Oh my, who's that? That must be the Tooth Fairy. And look, she's flying off. That's the same container that she had, so I guess she's taking her tooth. Here we go. And as we look at the picture clues, we see that she's writing. You know, reading and writing goes together. I hope you're doing some writing while you're home. She's writing a letter, and the letter says, Dear Tooth Fairy. Okay, so let's read the letter because it's placed on this page now. Dear Tooth Fairy, thank you for the money you left under my pillow. That was the first tooth I've ever lost. Wasn't it beautiful? Emma. So we know now that her name is Emma. Okay, and that was her first tooth because we know we lose more than just our first teeth. Okay, now let's look at this picture. She's in the bed. Someone's reading her a bedtime story, which I hope someone reads you tonight. And let's see, who do you think that is? Maybe it's Grandpa. Let's see. Oh, she's written another letter. Here she goes. Dear Tooth Fairy, my grandfather is here for a visit. Could you please return my tooth so I could show it to him? Just for one day? Emma. Now, have you ever had the Tooth Fairy return a tooth to you? Or have you looked under your pillow and woke up the next morning and the tooth was still there and you were wondering what happened? but I know that you've had a tooth fall out or a tooth pulled out. So that's a good connection right there. Okay, let's see. She's looking in the mirror again. I think she's holding another container or a big tooth, but that's a big tooth. That's not her tooth. Here's another letter to the Tooth Fairy. Dear Tooth Fairy, my mother says I should be pleased that you think I have such big teeth. But I think you made a mistake. Please, can I have my tooth back? Emma. So remember she asked the Tooth Fairy if she could have her tooth back? And I think the Tooth Fairy gave her this tooth. And she's saying, that's too big to be her tooth. That's funny. Let's see what the Tooth Fairy is going to do. Because she's still asking her for that tooth to come back. Oh my. We have what? What's that a picture of? A hippopotamus. Oh, and look, Emma's giving the tooth to the hippopotamus. Dear Tooth Fairy, you don't have to worry about taking back that tooth. Last night I had a surprise visitor, and that tooth fit him just fine. Have you found my tooth yet? Emma. Ooh. Have you ever had a hippopotamus come in your room? I know I haven't. So let's see. Okay. Dear Tooth Fairy, no, my tooth isn't this small either. I almost didn't see it under my pillow. Just as I was about to pick it up, a funny-looking creature tumbled through my window and grabbed it. I guess it was his. What was the funny-looking creature that grabbed her tooth? What does he look like? A hedgehog? I think that's a hedgehog. Oh my. Let's see. What does he? That's a skunk. What does he have? He has a tooth. Oh my goodness. I would be doing the same thing. You know, skunks spray. So look at Emma. She's putting her clothes over her face. Let's see what she wrote to the Tooth Fairy this time. Dear Tooth Fairy, nice try, but this isn't mine either. The animal that came for it was cute, but oh so smelly. I let him have that tooth and anything else he wanted. Emma. Still not her tooth. Why do you think the Tooth Fairy is giving her all of those teeth that are not hers? Oh my goodness. You know, we can relate and we can connect because even animals have teeth, right? So all of the animals that are coming have some sort of teeth. That could be a text-to-world connection, not just a text-to-self. Okay, let's see what she says. Dear Tooth Fairy, no, that tusk, not mine either. Not unless you think I'm an elephant. And speaking of elephants, there's one trampling on my front lawn now. Do you think this might be his? Emma. Emma has a great imagination. Or maybe she was just dreaming. I don't think elephants would come trumpeting or trumpeting or stomping and coming on your front. We don't live near elephants, right? But elephants do have things that come out of their mouth, and those are tusks. Okay? That's the form of their teeth. Oh, let's look now. Oh my goodness, what is that? Let's see what she's writing. And what is she doing in this picture? She's letting down another tooth. Dear Tooth Fairy, you sure must have a lot of teeth there. My mother says the tooth you left me last night is an alligator tooth. I'm looking for a place to put it so he'll Be sure to find it. Here's a picture of my tooth, in case you forgot what it looked like. Emma. Now, why does she want her tooth back? Yes, to show her grandfather. You know how you lose a tooth and you want to show everybody, look, 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 my teeth, my teeth. That's what Emma wants to do. Now, this is a picture of the tooth fairy. No words, so you have to really use your picture clues. Look at the tooth fairy. She looks a little worried. And look at her house. She has teeth everywhere. And she's really looking for Emma's tooth. Look at that. Letters. Have you ever written the tooth fairy? That would be a good thing to do. Writing letters while we have this time at home. Let's see. Let's take a guess. Do you think the tooth fairy found Emma's tooth? Oh, Emma wrote another letter. Dear Tooth Fairy, you found it. My grandfather really liked it. Thank you. I'm returning it just like I said I would. So she had a chance to show her grandpa her tooth. And that was nice of the Tooth Fairy to do that. And now Emma's in the mirror again, looking at her tooth. I wonder if she lost another one. Let's see. Let's read her letter. Dear Tooth Fairy, guess what? My other front tooth fell out. Isn't it beautiful? Maybe you should put it in a safe place for a while. Emma. Why do you think Emma told the Tooth Fairy to put it in a safe place? Maybe she thought she was going to lose it. Text to self connection. Sometimes when our teeth come out and we put it somewhere, we need to put it somewhere safe so that we won't lose it. Have you ever lost a tooth? Not just out of your mouth, but after you've had it pulled out and you put it somewhere and can't remember? That's a connection. And guess what? The Tooth Fairy did. She put it in a safe place. She put it in a safe. So now, that's the end. Remember, the Tooth Fairy has to go around to many places. I don't know if animals really have tooth fairies, but in this story, the animals were coming back to get their teeth. Everyone has teeth, so that's a connection. Every human being has teeth. And most animals have teeth, so that's a good connection. But I know that you've experienced losing your teeth. Okay? And guess what? Sometimes when you get older, you lose them again. All right, that's the end of our story time. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to go on YouTube to My Reading House and subscribe so you can hear a story every day. And don't forget, I miss you guys. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.